Hi everybody, this is Alex from 113. This is my Kawasaki klx230r. That's a 2020 model. This is my motorcycle. I actually had it for almost a year and a half and I totally abuse it. It was my first bike, so I was learning how to ride on this one. So a few weeks ago, what happened was that just in the middle of riding a trail, I heard a grinding noise from the motor, and although the bike was in gear, wasn't running. I think we're gonna have a problem with the gearbox here. I was kind of mad on this entire situation because it happened literally in the middle of the trail. So I was starting to kicking the shifter and actually broke the shifter with the shift shaft. So this is at least one part we're gonna have to replace. Then I went to Kawasaki and actually asked them to give me some sort of a quote. They told me it's probably gonna cost me between around $2,000 to $2,500, which I honestly don't want to pay. And I decided I want to take the motor apart and see what's going on in there. I know for sure there's a problem with one of the gears. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this bike apart. We'll see what's going on and hopefully we'll be able to solve this problem. I'll start from removing the skid plate. That's going to be an 8mm socket. Basically 3 screws. Put the motorcycle on a stand. The next thing we need to do is to drain all the oil out of there. For that, I'll be using a 12mm socket. We'll undo the bolt right here. All right, next move is to remove all the panels. 8mm socket. Now the seat is basically 2 screws. Again, 8mm. There are different screws though, so make sure that you put your hardware all together with the part. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very hard time to figure out what goes where later. And the seat goes out. Next one is the gas tank. So we're gonna have one 8mm screw right here. And there's gonna be a latch right here. I'm gonna remove that latch. There we go. The gas tank should be free. We'll disconnect the pump. I'm gonna remove that stopper here. And should be able to remove the gas tank. So next thing we want to do, we actually want to remove the swing arm because this axle, the swing arm axle, is actually goes through the motor. So in order to remove the motor, we need to remove the swing arm. Consequently, we need to remove the rear wheel. And this is what I'm about to do right now. So there is like a outer pin here. Just gonna remove it with a plier. 22mm socket for the rear wheel. Boy. And that's it. We're gonna take a hammer, just bang the axle out. I'm gonna use a screwdriver. Next step is to remove the rear brake master cylinder and the pedal because it's actually attached to the frame and I don't really want to bleed the caliper, so I'm going to remove this the swing arm altogether with the caliper and the master cylinder. So remove the spring out of here and Brake pedal should be now free to go. For the master cylinder, it should be just those two 8mm screws. The master cylinder is now free to go. We're gonna take a 19mm socket here and if I need to remove this nut as well, this is basically the link connection of the rear suspension, and that's gonna be a 17mm. Okay, now when everything is loose, I'm pretty sure I should be able just to bang this axle out of there and remove the swing arm entirely. I'm gonna use a longer rod. Okay, swing arm is out, all together with the chain and the entire rear brake system. Next part is to remove the exhaust. I'm probably gonna remove the muffler and the pipe as well. So 12mm 1, 2, 3 screws. That's for the muffler, and we'll see what's going on in there. I'll disconnect the sensor right here. Hopefully. And the exhaust is out. Okay, now the exhaust pipe, 12mm, basically 2 nuts, and we should be able to remove it. Okay, the next thing I want to do is to remove this air box here, so I'll be able to access the throttle body. I probably could do it without removing the air box, but I don't want to break anything here, so I just probably gonna remove the fender and the air box, and then I'll be able to separate the throttle body from the motor. Now the airbox, let's figure out how does it's installed in here. Few 8mm screws. As you can probably see, at this point I don't require any special tools, basically just a ratchet wrench, pliers, just basic tools for that. Okay, in order to get rid of the airbox, I actually need to remove the battery because there's a screw there which I cannot reach. So, battery goes out. And now I can finally access that final screw for the airbox. Now when the airbox is free, I can just undo the 2 vent hoses, one from here, and I'm gonna use a, what is that? That's a T15 Torx to undo the clamp for the throttle body, and I should be able to remove this thing now. Brought a larger 6-inch flat screwdriver to see if I can pry this fitting out of there. Doesn't want to go out. And there we go. Airbox is now freed. Basically now the throttle body is separated from the motor. Okay, the airbox is out. Throttle body is separated. All I have to do right now is basically to disconnect all the hoses the electrical from the motor. We'll start with the spark plug, the oil tubes, clutch cable, the clutch cable mounting. Those screws are actually larger than the other crankcase screws, so make note of that. What else? Starter, ground, so basically everything is now ready to remove the motor. Everything is separated. The only thing is now connecting the motor to the frame for the mountings here. So there's one mounting, two mounting, and connection to the frame right here. We're now gonna remove them. Okay, so I removed all the motor mountings from the other side. What I'm going to do right now, I'm gonna put the bike on the ground. I will tilt it to its side. I will remove the other mountings. I will try to pull the frame out of it. Hopefully it's all gonna go smooth. And there we go. The motor is now free. Basically, if we did everything okay, I should be able now just to lift the frame out of it. Of course, it's not going to be that easy because things are stuck against things. And after a struggle, this molder is out. Okay, so step number one completed. I have this molder out. Next thing, we're gonna have to take this thing completely apart because the problem with the gear is gonna be just right here. We're gonna have to remove the cylinder head, the cylinder, the starter, the crankcases, everything basically to split the case and see what's going on there. Let's do that. Fun time.